Right now, as you watch this on Monday the 27th of July, 2026, the United Kingdom is in the grip of one of its most relentless summer heatwaves in recent memory. London has been baking since the first week of this month, with conditions that have repeatedly challenged historical records for the capital. But here is the question that actually matters to you today: is this the peak, or is the worst still ahead? According to the latest available data this morning, many parts of England are already waking up to temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius before 9 a.m., with afternoon highs expected to push into the low to mid-30s across the southeast and Midlands. The UV index across England is forecast at level 8 today, classified as very high, meaning unprotected skin can begin to burn in as little as 15 minutes of direct exposure. This is not a day for complacency. Whether you are commuting, making a long road journey, or simply planning a trip to the local park, today's conditions demand specific, practical knowledge. And that is exactly what this video delivers, section by section, so stay with us. To understand today, you need a brief look at how we arrived at this point. The London heatwave of July 2026 began building in the first week of the month, with major outlets reporting on its severity as early as the 10th of July. What made this event unusual was not just its intensity but its duration. A high-pressure system anchored firmly over continental Europe has been funneling warm air northward for more than 3 weeks, giving the UK very little respite. By the third week of July, the heat had spread well beyond the southeast, affecting regions that typically serve as a refuge from southern summer temperatures. Scotland and northern England saw thermometers climbing into the high 20s during that period, which is significantly above their long-term averages for this time of year. The RAC responded by publishing a dedicated weather advisory on the 24th of July, warning drivers across all UK regions about the compounding dangers of driving in sustained high temperatures. National Highways also issued road closure reports in mid-July, partly due to tarmac softening on several A road sections in the south following consecutive days above 32 degrees Celsius. The picture across the UK today is not uniform, so let us go region by region. In London and the southeast, the forecast high for Monday the 27th of July sits between 31 and 34 degrees Celsius, with the hottest period expected between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. The Midlands and East Anglia are tracking similarly, with highs in the 29 to 32 degree range throughout the afternoon. Moving north, Yorkshire and the northwest are forecast to reach 26 to 28 degrees, which is still well above the seasonal average and represents a genuine heat risk for those who are not acclimatized. Wales is expected to see highs of around 27 degrees in Cardiff and the Vale of Glamorgan, with coastal areas benefiting from sea breezes that could shave 2 or 3 degrees off the perceived temperature. Scotland, particularly Edinburgh and Glasgow, is forecast at 22 to 24 degrees today, considerably cooler by comparison but still notably warm for those regions. Northern Ireland is sitting around 21 to 23 degrees, with some cloud cover moderating conditions slightly through the morning before clearing this afternoon. If you are planning to drive anywhere today, pay close attention to this section. The RAC's Heatwave Driving Guide, updated last week, highlights 3 risks that multiply sharply in conditions like today's. First, tire blowouts. Road surface temperatures on UK motorways regularly exceed 50 degrees Celsius during peak afternoon heat, and heat causes the air inside tires to expand. If your tires were already at the upper end of the recommended pressure range this morning, they are now potentially overinflated and at elevated blowout risk. Check your pressures before setting off. Second, engine overheating. If your coolant level is not correctly topped up, today's stop-start motorway conditions could push your engine to its thermal limit faster than you expect. Third, driver fatigue. Sustained heat measurably impairs cognitive function, with studies showing reaction times can slow by up to 20% in a car cabin that reaches 35 degrees. National Highways confirmed road closure reports as recently as the 22nd of July. Today, the 3 corridors most likely to see heat-related disruptions are the M25 around the Dartford crossing, the M6 through the Midlands, and the A1 in the north. Check the National Highways live feed before you set off this morning. A UV index of 8 is not a minor advisory. The NHS classifies this level as very high, and it carries concrete recommendations that are worth taking seriously today. Apply a minimum SPF 30 sunscreen to all exposed skin at least 30 minutes before going outside, and reapply it every 2 hours, more frequently if you are swimming or sweating. Wear sunglasses rated UV 400 or above, and if you are spending any time outdoors, a wide-brimmed hat is not optional today, it is sensible. Heat exhaustion can develop faster than most people appreciate. Key symptoms include heavy sweating, dizziness, nausea, and a rapid but weak pulse. If those symptoms appear in yourself or someone nearby, get them into shade immediately, remove unnecessary clothing, and provide small sips of cool water. Do not give them cold water in large gulps, as this can trigger cramping. Heat stroke, where the core body temperature exceeds 40 degrees Celsius, is a medical emergency requiring a 999 call. Children under 5, adults over 65, and anyone living with cardiovascular or respiratory conditions face significantly elevated risk today. The NHS Heatwave plan advises keeping indoor temperatures below 26 degrees Celsius and checking on vulnerable neighbors at least once during the afternoon peak. Timing your travel intelligently today can make a very significant difference to both your safety and your comfort. The two best windows for road travel are before 10 a.m. and after 6 p.m., when road surface temperatures are at their lowest and traffic volumes on non-motorway routes are somewhat lighter. The worst window is between noon and 5 p.m., when peak temperatures, peak UV, and peak traffic volumes combine to create the most demanding conditions for drivers and pedestrians alike. For rail travelers, be aware that extreme heat can cause track buckling and signaling failures, particularly on older infrastructure in the southeast. If your journey involves the Great Western Main Line, South Western Railway routes, or services through Kent, build in an extra 20 to 30 minutes of buffer time and check National Rail's live departures before leaving home. For those traveling by bicycle or on foot, carry a minimum of 500 milliliters of water per hour of activity in this heat, wear a hat, and if at all possible, avoid being outdoors between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., which is the peak UV window. Wear light-colored, loose-fitting, breathable clothing to reduce heat absorption. Looking beyond today, the forecast picture begins to shift slightly by the middle of this week, though the timing depends heavily on where you are in the country. Current modeling suggests that a weather front approaching from the Atlantic may bring meaningful relief to the north and west of the UK by Wednesday the 29th of July. Scotland and Northern Ireland could see temperatures drop by 5 to 7 degrees from today's highs, and some areas may see light rainfall for the first time in several weeks. Northern England and Wales should also begin to feel a gradual easing of conditions from Thursday the 30th onwards. However, the southeast of England is expected to remain in the heatwave corridor through at least Thursday, with little meaningful rainfall forecast before the weekend. For Londoners and those in the home counties, today is therefore not the final chapter of this heat story. By Friday the 31st of July, there is some potential for thunderstorms developing during the late afternoon across the southeast. After such a prolonged dry spell, intense downpours carry a real risk of surface water flooding developing very quickly on roads and in low-lying areas. Keep an eye on Met Office yellow warnings from Wednesday the 29th onwards. Here is your straightforward takeaway for today. Monday the 27th of July, 2026 is a very high UV day across all of England and Wales, with peak temperatures in the southeast reaching the low to mid-30s between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. If you need to drive, check your tire pressures and coolant level before setting off this morning, not when you reach the motorway. Choose to travel before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m. wherever your schedule allows. Apply SPF 30 or higher sunscreen before going outdoors, drink water consistently throughout the day without waiting until you feel thirsty, and check on anyone in your life who may be elderly, very young, or managing a health condition that increases their heat sensitivity. Keep your indoor space as cool as possible by closing blinds and curtains on south-facing windows during the afternoon. The heatwave is not over yet for the southeast, but the week ahead does bring gradual relief to northern regions from midweek. Stay informed, stay hydrated, and stay safe today. If this video has given you something concrete and useful for your Monday, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to stay ahead of every UK weather update.